Okay. Make a cast. That wasn't a very good one, but still, it don't make any difference as long as we pull up some shad. Oh my goodness, I want y'all to look at this. I got one shad. No, I got a couple shad and a big old largemouth. I want y'all to look. Let's get him in the bucket. Oh my goodness. I dropped a net over a 8-pounder in Florida one time, accidentally, throwing for some shiners, but never here. I want y'all to look what a bass. Oh my goodness. That's a big bass right there. That's probably 5.5 pounds or better. Let's let him go. Ain't that something? Got to show that. That was just luck. That fish didn't outrun that net. Most of the time, them old big bass outrun them nets. But this is, ain't that something? This is what we're after. Right there. Now, I'd like to get the bigger variety, because what I'm going to do is fillet them and use strips today. That bass was there for a reason. Y'all remember when I tell y'all something. Now, when you got this much bait fish, follow the bait fish. That's where the predators is going to be. And that was a prime example. That fish was in there feeding on them old big shad, trying to get him a bite of them big shad. That's exactly what was going on. If they're, even if they got a stomach full, folks, they'll still stay around them. Especially on these flats. Well, good morning, folks. It's Richard Gene the Fishing Machine here. It is a beautiful morning here on the Tennessee River. It's around 55, 60 degrees right now, and I believe the high is going to get around 72, 73. Perfect fishing conditions, no doubt. Today we're going to do a little catjacking, but I'm going to be honest with y'all, before we can get going, a good catjacker, well, knows you got to have good bait. Okay, you've got to have bait. So I'm going to get this 6 foot 3/8 mash cast net out, bait net. We're going to go right over yonder way and catch us 5 or 6 shad. And we're going catjacking. Alright, let's get this net out. I'm in 8 feet of water right here. And I see shad. I see some out in here, and I see some behind us. Most of them are right back there. Probably around 6 feet of water. They're surfacing this morning. Actually, there come one right there, and they look like they're pretty good size. I hope they are, because the way I'm going to catjack today, I would like to have some pretty good size shad. Big ones. The bigger the better. Gizzard shad. That's what we're talking about. Gizzard shad is an excellent catjacking bait. I'm hung up on catjacking, ain't I, folks? I thought about that this morning and I got tickled. Them ain't shad, though. Them are suspended bluegill. I see them. We're going to have to get over here where these shad are. Now, bluegill will suspend this time of year. They'll come up to the top of the water and fool you a little bit. A lot of things is happening. And it does in the fall. Fall and spring, they sort of go hand in hand. Let's try it right here. That should get them. That should be enough shad. I'm pretty sure I hit right on top of them. If I didn't, it's going to surprise me. Oh yeah, I just got a net full of them that time. Yeah. I mean a net full. That's what we're talking about. I'm going to pick out the biggest ones right here. Well, they're all big. We got the bait now. There ain't no doubt about that. We'll just go ahead and dump them. About that many, and that's enough. Yeah, that's plenty of shad right there, folks. All right, we're ready to do it. I can't get over that bass. That was a big bass. I felt him in my net, but I didn't know what it was. I thought, well, I've got a carp or, you know, maybe a drum or something like that. I knew it was a big fish or even a gar. I've caught gar in these nets. Several over the years, but I didn't think it would be a bass. That's pretty cool. Okay, what I've done is filleted a gizzard shad. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut these ribs out on each fillet like that. I'm going to cut that rib out, that one there out. And you could use these if you wanted to, but really the fillets, shad is an oily fish, and the fillets is what puts out the scent. Let me just cut. This was a small shad, so really it's not a good deal right here. That's why I like the bigger shad, but that's about the size of bait that we want right here. Just like that. Just a long piece of fillet like that. And we'll just go ahead and do this one the same way. Okay. Just like that, folks. That's all we want. All right, something like that. But let's go on fishing.
Hey, Bertha, look at all them birds up there. I hope they don't poop on us. Looks like they're gonna come over right over here on top of us and put droppings on us.
All right, folks, we're here at the hole, and I'm in 17 feet of water right here. Now, right out in front of me is the edge of a creek channel, and it just sort of runs straight from the bridge, almost squared up with the bridge right here through yonder. Okay, now what I'm going to do right here is a unique way of catching catfish. Now, this is just a 6.5 foot Gander Mountain Tournament Series rod, medium action, Daiwa reel, 2500 size Daiwa reel with 10-pound braid. Now, I have this jig head tied directly to the braid with a Palomar knot, which is my favorite knot for braided line. It will not slip. This is a 1/4 ounce jig head with a Gamakatsu or Gamakatsu hook in it. It's probably about a size 1 hook. Now, if you notice right here, I have a piece of plastic and it's glued to the hook. I'm just taking up room on the shank of the hook. Okay, now let's get our bait. Okay, here's our strip of shad. Now what I'm going to do is just simply hook it like that right there. And we're going to work it along the bottom and catch a catfish. Now, as far as species is concerned, I could catch a flathead, I could catch a blue, or a channel cat. There's no telling. No telling. But let's go ahead and make a cast out here. We're pretty close to the edge of the creek channel. I'm up on the flat just a little bit. Let's set her drag in case we hook a big fish. You never know. When you're fishing this way, you never know. Now, okay, it's on the bottom. Now all I'm going to do is just move it real slow along the bottom. You can either hop it like you would a plastic worm, or you can drag it. It don't make any difference, because remember, we're using a reel We're using a piece of shad on here, which has got a good smell to it. Oily fish, puts out a lot of aroma. But the main thing right here is just to work it slow along the bottom. Now, I have caught some big flathead catfish and some big blues doing this. This is sort of a specialized technique. I mean, I admit it is, but it's a technique that will put fish in the boat. Let's catch a catfish. There he is. First fish. First catfish. Now that bite was a real sharp bite. That's the way they hit these jigs. And usually, as soon as you feel it, it's just like on a plastic worm or any other bait. Like if you're fishing for bass, a jig or a plastic worm or anything like that, you can just go ahead and hesitate for a second and go ahead and just set the hook. But this is a good fish right here. This is a real good fish. And that fish hit in about 18, 19 feet of water. But now I'm right on the edge of this creek channel. But now if you're going to fish this way, I would suggest strongly, folks, to have a good sharp jig head. Either an owner hook or a gamakatsu. Just a real good sharp hook. Doggone it, I forgot to bring a net. This technique right here is a lot of fun, folks. If you don't like traditional catfishing, if you like the bass fish, you would love this style of fishing right here. If he'll quit, we'll go ahead and land him. I might be able to get his head into this little net right here. See that old jig hanging in his mouth there? Only quit. Oh, I'm in a mess right here. Quit. Let me see what's going on here. Let's see if we can try to lose this fish. This bigger fish than what I thought. There he is. Golly. I'm always unprepared when it comes to nets. And I don't know why. I think that they're important, but they're extremely important. Okay, y'all can see that jig. It barely got him right there. But we got him. That's what counts. I have caught them up to 30 and 40 pounds by using this technique. It's a very, very fun technique. It's out of the ordinary, I know, but sometimes to keep fishing interesting, a fella needs to learn all techniques, or as many as he can. But let's let him go. Let's let him go right there. There he goes. It didn't take him long. He skedaddled. I don't blame him. If I was him, I'd skedaddle too. Let's catch another one. Now the key to this fishing right here is patience and fishing slow. I tell you what's a big confidence, it gives me a lot of confidence when I'm fishing this way, is I know that the fact of the matter is that shad put out a tremendous amount of scent in the water. Like I've stated before, they're a very oily fish. And when a catfish gets on the trail, he's going to chase that jig down and eat him. And when I jig this bait right here, like I said before, I just jig it just like I would any other jig, but not quite as aggressive. See, I'm just picking the bait up about just a few inches off the bottom and letting it drop back, letting it sit there a little bit, and then repeating that. That's really all you have to do. Anything any more, a little, or any less than that really isn't necessary. These fish are a lot more aggressive than a lot of people think. especially a blue and a flathead. There he is. There's another one. My goodness. That fish hammered it too, folks. Absolutely hammered it. My. This is something right here that I enjoy. Now, to best describe how I'm jigging this bait, it's about like I jig for sauger. About the same thing. This fish is coming up towards the top, towards the surface. He's not as big as that other fish, but he's a good one. He's a good one. Golly. If I'm not mistaken, that's a channel cat. Wow. And I mean a big channel cat. So that's two different species we've caught. Let me make sure about it, though. Darn sure is. It's a channel cat. What about that? And a nice one. I mean a nice one. So that's a blue and a channel so far. Wow. Is that not something? Folks, just think about it just a minute. Hey, whoa. The fish is fighting. This fish happens to be a fighting. That's a big son of a gun right there. If he'll quit, we'll net him. But the problem is, he don't want to quit. Get up here so we can net you. Golly, that is a huge channel. That has got to be. Well, that's a big channel. That's all I got to say. My. In this part of the country, folks, that's a huge channel cat. That's a big one. So that's two different species. We got a channel and a blue. I don't know if I'll catch a flathead today, but if this bait, of course it's got to have a strip on it, this fish knocked it off, comes by a flathead, he'll grab it. There's no doubt about that. That is a big channel cat. That's impressive to me. Let's let him go. Alright, boy. Get on back in there. It didn't take him long. Didn't take him long at all. But the secret to taking care of your fish, no doubt, is catch them and release them quick as possible. Unless you're going to eat them. But we have plenty of crappie in the freezer. There's nothing to do but catch another one. There's not a doggone thing in the world to do. Hey, woo, but catch another one. Whoa! There he is. Right under the doggone boat, too. Golly. How many fish is in here, folks? I don't know how many fish is in here. This is a big old channel cat. I want y'all to look right here. That's a mule right there. I've always thought that a channel cat, pound for pound, in my opinion, I'm talking about pound for pound, can outpull any catfish in the river, any species. I tell you, this channel cat right here is giving me a fit. It's amazing how hard this fish is pulling. I can't get over it. What is that? Hawaii 5-0. Dun, 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 dun. Wait a minute. I better concentrate on this fish. He's still mean. There ain't nothing green about him. I can't. Would you give up? My goodness. That is a big old channel cat. I mean, that is a monster for this part of the country, and I'm going to try to net him right here. That son of a gun, I didn't think he was going to quit. Woo-wee! Come on in here. I want y'all to look at this. Great old good un. If I ever seen, I don't want to lose him. I want to show this to y'all. There we go. My goodness. That is a that's the biggest channel cat I've ever caught in the Tennessee River. There's a lot of different techniques to catch fish. Okay. Lots of them. Okay, yeah. Just everything. One does not have to stick to one particular way, because there's lots of great ways. Folks, that is a huge channel cat. I want y'all to look. That ain't nothing but channel cat. That's got to be my PB. Let's let him go. I'm tickled to death, because that son of a gun right there just about whooped me. All right, folks, let's let this big boy back. Whew. You talking about a battle. I knew it wasn't a blue. A blue fight's a lot different than a channel cat. There he goes. Wow. Channel cats are quicker. They're a lot quicker. And they circle. They'll cover a big wide area. I'm not saying they're stronger, but pound for pound, I am saying they're stronger in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. You know, folks, the fact of the matter is, this is a very, very effective technique. And you can catch catfish like this, no doubt, almost year long. And the colder the water, the slower you work your bait. It's a technique really designed for a certain type of person. The type of person I'm talking about is a person that don't like to be anchored and like have a rod or two or three or four in a rod holder and just wait and watch, wait and watch. It's for a person who likes to be actively doing something all the time. A lot of us loves to work for fish. Well, if you love to work for fish, this is the technique for you. I'd like to say God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for everything y'all do. All the great comments. Y'all been remarkable. Y'all have been exceptionally remarkable. Hey, it's a matter of adrenaline is a oh, I got it now. It hit me hard. Okay. And remember, go fishing when you can, because it's good.